Today I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and that is that getting older will fix many of your problems. I see a lot of young guys on social media and even in the consultation calls that I offer, because sometimes I get like really young guys, whether even 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Sometimes I get older people in their 30s or 40s, but for the most part, it's a lot of young guys. And I see that many of them are stressing about things like, I'm not successful enough. I'm not making enough money. My life is not cool. I don't have this. I don't have that. And also I see them complain a lot about internal problems like I cannot focus enough. I'm not disciplined enough. They have a lot of self-doubt, negative self-talk, and they want to fix like all of these problems as soon as possible, which is completely understandable. I was in the same place like 10 years ago, so I completely get it, the urgency to fix these problems. But now that I'm 28, and I'm in a much better place, especially internally, I have noticed, and this is the point of the video, the lesson in the video, in a way, that the older I become, the better things seem to get. And that time might actually be your friend and not your enemy, especially if you spend your time wisely. And sometimes all that you're missing to get what you want is a little bit more patience. Now, I know that saying this as a 28-year-old might be a little bit odd, because like 28, it's still fairly young. But it's enough for me to look back like 10 years ago and see that most of the problems I used to struggle with back then, for the most part, are fixed now. Not all of them, for sure, like I still have my inner battles, but many of them are solved. And some of those problems that I was fighting back then didn't get fixed as quickly as I wanted, because I also had like that sense of urgency. I did have that impatience, but it did eventually happen. And I think what I needed, the missing piece to it all, is to just give it some time and to get a little bit older, to live some life, to mature. I think that's the missing part on like most people's equations. Like most people come up with all these answers and systems and solutions to fix their lives and their problems. But within this equation that they're creating to solve these problems, they're missing the time component, the time variable, which is a totally normal and natural part of life and even this universe. Like, it takes time for a plant to grow, for an organism to develop, like your mother had to carry you for 9 months. Then you were a baby for a few years, and then a kid, and then a teenager, yada, yada, yada. Like now you're here. So like just some things take time and there's no way around it, which don't get me wrong, like things can happen quickly. Yes, like I'm not saying that's not possible. And I've seen it with my own eyes, right? Like for those of you who are subscribed and you've been watching me for a while, like for example, the first business I ever built when I was like 19 or 20, it went from 0 to 100K a month in only 8 months. Then my second business, I think it took like 1 month to get to like 10 or 20K a month profit. Okay, not revenue, but profit. So yes, like quick success happens and it's real, but not always. And that's not a bad thing, which is what most people don't understand. It is not a bad thing if it takes you a few years to succeed in business or to get in shape or to find a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It is fine. Like we're all in different positions, in different places with different talents and skills and interests. Maybe something that I can achieve quickly, it might take you a while, and vice versa. Maybe something that you can achieve real quickly, it could take me a while. And the big problem is that a lot of people tend to compare themselves to others. Like, oh, if he succeeded in business in 8 months and I don't do the same, that means that I'm a failure. Like, that's stupid. Okay, that's absolute nonsense. And I strongly believe that this nonsensical comparison game is what creates this sense of urgency, and consequently, it creates all this stress and suffering. Like, here's another important insight. The emotional suffering that you experience from all of these external or internal problems, if you truly analyze it, or at least that's how it was for me, if you truly analyze it, what actually makes you suffer the most is the fact that you have urgency to solve these problems. It is not the problem itself, but the fact that you're obsessing so much about it. You're looking at it every single day, complaining about it. You're like that little kid with his father on a road trip, and the kid is asking like every 5 seconds, like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, that's how a lot of people treat their problems. And that attitude is what wrecks you emotionally. Now, what is the solution? I think the right approach is to be impatient with your days, but patient with your year. And what that means is to not take your days for granted. Make the most out of every single day. Take a lot of action today. Be impatient today to get a lot of things done. But at the same time, understand and recognize that today, most likely, is barely gonna move the needle. And that real change can take time. It's kind of like building muscle. Like you and I could go to the gym today and have like an insane, super intense workout. But tomorrow, our bodies are gonna look the exact same way they do today. Like barely anything will have changed. But when you stack enough of those workouts, enough of those days, that's what moves the needle. That's what actually creates the change. And I think that understanding this is what can help you to suffer less from your problems. And if you step back a little, which again, it does not mean that you're reducing intensity, you still go hard at it. But if you step back and you understand like the big picture of things, you're gonna suffer way less. Some things in life just take time, and that's not a bad thing. Time does magical things. And the younger you are, the more difficult it is to understand this, but it's true. Time can truly be magical. And one day you might wake up and you might realize that now you're the person you always aspired to be. Yeah, maybe it took longer than you wanted for you to get there, but you got there anyways. And you will see that all you needed was just some time and to live a little and to have some more life experience and to mature more. That's it for this video. Check out some of my other videos, check out my channel. I have videos on absolutely everything. Check out my website. My website is even better than my YouTube channel. If you need help with anything, I offer one-on-one consultation calls. You will find that on my website. I also have a free Telegram group. Check that out. And that's it. Have an incredible day. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.